What is up, my fellow demons and things that go bump in the night? It's your host, Toxin. Sorry I've been MIA for this past 2 weeks. I'm just getting everything ready to go for October. My plan is to upload a single video every single day, if not 2 or 3, depending when we get them dudes going or them boards. Or the boards. So today, to kick off October, I thought I would be reviewing the 1990 creepy crawler. We see him everywhere, Arachnophobia.
There's a rumor going around that some kind of spider might have killed Sam Metcalf.
Doubtful.
Spiders make convenient culprits.
There's no spider here.
I think one of your Venezuelan spiders hitched a ride here.
There may be some spiders around here that are very dangerous.
God, chill out.
Just run.
They spread out from a central nest in a web-like pattern and dominate the entire area.
Director Frank Marshall. Writers Don Jacoby, Al Williams, and starring Jeff Daniels, Julian Sands, and John Goodman. Like I said, it's in the title, Arachnophobia. We see these little creepy crawly 8-legged freaks everywhere. That's another movie, don't confuse that movie. Everywhere in our rooms, the barns, the sheds, the garage, all throughout our house. And sometimes we even wake up with them crawling on our faces. I've read stories, did a little research into how spiders are. So yeah, so essentially, there's a professor, like there always is, trying to discover something undiscovered. I believe he goes down to South America, and there is a crater per se, or just a gigantic hole in the rocks where there is, I guess, a forest or something growing down there, and it has been undisturbed and unreachable for, I guess, since the dinosaur ages. And this guy just happened to find the one guy who can take him down there. It is like a native to that country who leads them down there. But even he says, hey, this is as far as I go, and you're on your own. Guys, that should have been a major warning. Why is this guy not going down into this hole that I want to go discover undiscovered species in? Maybe we shouldn't do it. Anyways, he makes it down to the floor. He finds this great tree. They make it look like the very first tree, the tree of life. Maybe the tree that Adam and Eve saw with the with the forbidden fruit or whatever. So they start pumping this gas to knock out every animal or anything, insect or anything that may be living inside of this tree. And slowly, things start dropping out of the sky. They start noticing birds that haven't been seen in years, undiscovered species of butterflies and stuff like that. And they even start naming them on the spot until they hear a big thump in one of the jars, and it is a huge spider that's about the size of my two hands together, and the photographer is actually starting to photograph it, and it turns out it's not dead, and they're all confused because this stuff should have totally made them extinct at this time, and turns out no, it's not. These things are huge. These things are very, very aggressive, and all I can say is their venom is very lethal. It's very, very lethal. The photographer who first seen the spiders, he is actually running a fever, and he goes and takes a nap. And it turns out the general, or the leader of these spiders, he made it onto with their equipment to go back to their camp, and he actually goes and bites the photographer. And I'm talking about the moment it made impact to his skin, he just made one final yell, and that was it. He was done. He started choking. His airway closed up, and he died within seconds of his bite. Like almost, it looked like a heart attack. So nobody thought anything. They thought it was his fever that got him. It just was too much for him or whatever. So they send him back to the States, to his hometown. I forget the name of the town, but they send him back, and the spider actually hitches a ride in his coffin. And by the time the body gets back to the morgue, into his town, it's all chewed up. It looked like a vampire had been sucking on him for months at a time. He's completely drained. He's damn near black. Spider rolls out like it's nothing. Spider gets out of the morgue. He actually gets attacked by a crow. The crow, within seconds of lifting him into the sky, drops back down because of the poison. And that's when that's when shit hits the fan. He starts mating with a local house spider and starts making a new breed of spiders that are killing with just one bite. And meanwhile, all this is going on. A new doctor, Jeff Daniels, he moved to this town, and he was supposed to replace the older doctor that is there, but the older doctor does not want to relinquish his title or his job or retire. He's afraid of death. Afraid, like, you know what? I retired. I'm all my friends died shortly after. I don't want to die. Whatever. He's a fucking asshole. So is the cop. So while Jeff Daniels was down there, and he moved his family into a shit house that's literally falling apart from underneath them, this spider sets up shop in his barn. And meanwhile, all this, Jeff Daniels' character is actually petrified of spiders. His very first memory, he says, is him in the in the crib and seeing one of these 8-legged freaks start crawling up his leg, and him being so scared that he actually turns to stone. So there you go. You know, he actually has arachnophobia. Fucking excellent time to be to have that in this movie. Of course, as time goes on, more and more spiders are being made, and it may eventually gets to the point where the common house spider that was mated with the one from South America, he's South America. And it's actually in Venezuela is where they find this spider. The female is actually able to make her own baby, so now it really shit hits the fan where she can just go. She don't need that guy no more. She can just go make these venomous spiders on her own, and everybody starts noticing. You know, deaths start happening. An old woman that they actually blame Jeff Daniels' character for because supposedly she had a high blood pressure, but him being a new doctor versus the old style doctor, he takes her off the blood pressure because it's like, no, it's just a small spike, but you can control it with just eliminating these foods, and it's fine. So this mimics a heart attack. So people are blaming him. Even there's a football player who's whatever team, I think the Broncos on that is their mascot, that Jeff Daniels actually had examined him, and he ends up dead on the field by getting what it looks like he got hit. You know, he got tackled and he ends up dying from it. So yeah, so far the doctor's not getting a good rep, and you know, even till like that kind of goes away once the old doctor who refused to leave, he ends up getting bit on the toe as well. And who does he go run into? Yeah, Jeff Daniels is the character, and you know, whatever, after all the shit that you try to do to him and drag his name through the mud. But anyway, yeah. So once that happens, you know, things start looking up for him and his family. You know, business starts picking up. He starts getting all the patients that were there, of course. But then that's when they start noticing bites on the victims that were killed, and that's when they figured out that, hey, the photographer came back. He was the original victim. This is what he looked like in his coffin when he arrived. This is where he was at. This is who he was working with. They actually get a hold of the professor, and yeah, the professor comes down to check it out. He's like, yeah, this is the lost. This is the lost. Or I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying lost. I'm sorry. If you haven't noticed, life's been crazy. That's another reason why I've been MIA for 2 weeks, and I apologize for that. But you know, like I said, one video a month in October to make up for it, if not two, when we do the board or we them dudes. Anyway, this is the species I discovered in Venezuela, and this is what they do. This is how they operate, and so John Goodman, who is actually the exterminator, they get him on board, and he tries to act like a know-it-all, like he's a professor, even though he's an exterminator. But hey, you know, they know more about insects than we do, and so they have to go find the original nest, and it, you know, by a stroke of luck, Jeff Daniels' wife actually took pictures of the webbing in the barn, and said, hey, that's the webbing that I seen in Venezuela. Let's go check there. Well, that's the end of the professor. He's over there provoking the damn general, and like clockwork, just lands on his neck, bites the jugular, and that's all she wrote. And as Jeff Daniels is trying to get his family out of the house, that's when they literally, it's like they knew, they felt the alarm or something, because they start swarming the house. They are coming out of every nook and cranny, every crevices. The light the light plugs, everything. They are just coming from everywhere. It looks like they're even coming from inside the TV. And all this, he has arachnophobia, so he's trying to avoid all this. Meanwhile, not trying to turn to stone. You know, hey, your family's more important, so fight or flight response. That's gonna happen. Until he, like I said, the house is literally falling apart from underneath them. The structure is all rotten. So there's a part where he's getting away, and he actually falls over the stairs, and instead of falling, collapsing, and probably possibly breaking his back, he falls through the damn. He falls through the damn floor and goes into the basement or his wine cellar because he's a big wine connoisseur. So yeah, he built his own wine cellar down there, and that's when he notices, holy shit, this is where the nest is. He takes out the female spider, and then he has to go toe to toe with the general. Again, huge, fucking huge thing that this thing is. If you go watch it, I think I saw it on. I believe I saw it on Netflix, or it might have been on Stars. I don't remember, but if you go see it, it's fucking huge. You could tell this thing has been down there for centuries, not evolving. He's a perfect killing machine, so whatever poison he had back in the day with the dinosaurs, he still has. So yeah, it's very potent. And so yeah, he has to kill the general now, and it's pretty dope. Kind of maybe it jumps the board a little bit with it, but he throws wine all over him and all over the egg sac, which is going to give birth to more spiders. He actually has this nail gun that he has down there that he was trying to set up his wine cellar with, and as the general jumps at him, he shoots it, and it goes it sticks him and shoots him back to the egg sac and sets that on fire, and there you have it. And then after that they said deuces to small town living and went back to the city. So, Toxin's opinion, really quick. I grew up watching this movie. Even back then, it was creepy. Everybody is scared of spiders at least one time in their life. So, seeing this, it probably gave a lot of people anxiety. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies. It just sent that cold shiver up my spine while watching it. But now, nowadays, showing my little brothers, they were just sucked on the TV. They just could not turn away from it. So, it's still doing its job, guys. It's still creeping people out. It's still keeping you at the edge of the seat. Still making you feel like shit's crawling on you. You know how it is. But it was very entertaining. A lot of parts were funny. They had, stupid little jokes here and there that would make you giggle. And I actually highly recommend it. If you want to introduce your kids to horror, or barely starting to get, I recommend this movie just because there's no nudity. Oh my god, I'm sorry guys, I know that's a big deal. There's no nudity, there's very hardly any bad language in it, but it was very good. I think even adults nowadays who've never seen it will enjoy it very much. Like I said, guys, big things coming this month. This is the Creature of the Nights month. The holiday is coming up. I can't wait to Halloween, but with everything going on, it doesn't look like we're gonna have a Halloween, so this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be, I guess, my trick-or-treating. This is my treat to you guys. To the people I have subscribed. But, go like, subscribe, share. Please share the hell out of these videos. Any help helps. So, again, guys, till next time, rock on.